When you want only the best for your pet, check out AbbybellPetDesigns.com. We offer quality products such as floppy beds, crate pads, round pet beds, pillow slip covers, belly bands, and more. All products come in a variety of colors and sizes, guaranteed to satisfy your pet's particular style. Your pet deserves to be pampered, so shop at AbbybellPetDesigns.com. If you don't see the item you want listed in our shop, just drop us a line and we'll be glad to make the product of your pet's dreams. AbbybellPetDesigns.com.
And now, it's time to Stand for Truth with the host of Stand for Truth Radio,
everybody.
Susan
How
Knowles.
are you? Good morning, Robin. Hey, Rick. How's everybody? Cannot believe it's, Thursday? How did that happen? Marianne, Lori, Janice, how are you? Hello, hello. My Ears Are Not Like Yours, a book that is on Amazon.com. Go there if you want to give a positive message to children. This is a great book for Valentine's Day, birthday, or just because. Again, My Ears Are Not Like Yours. Amazon.com. Good morning. Hey, Janice. Okay, I'm going to read Psalm 101 as we come in, and if you could please retweet and share. I will sing of mercy and justice to you, O Lord. I will sing praises. I will behave wisely in a perfect way. Oh, when will you come to me? I will walk within my house with a perfect heart. I will set nothing wicked before my eyes. I hate the work of those who fall away. It shall not cling to me. A perverse heart shall depart from me. I will not know wickedness. Whoever secretly slanders his neighbor, him I will destroy. The one who has haughty look and a proud heart, him I will not endure. My eyes shall be on the faithful of the land, that they may dwell with me. He who walks in a perfect way, he shall serve me. He who works deceit shall not dwell within my house. He who tells lies shall not continue in my presence. Early I will destroy all the wicked of the land, that I may cut off all the evildoers from the city of the Lord. Amen. How is everybody? I guess we had some people just leave when I was saying the psalm. Hey, Carmen, if you could please go ahead and retweet this and share. What shenanigans is Washington up to? What shenanigans isn't Washington up to, right? I mean, that's really the question. Mine will be here today. Yay, Robin, yay, I'm glad. I'm ready for a nap already today. I know, Lori, I'm telling you, you wake up and it's like it's not rejuvenated. You're just tired again. So much news, it's draining. Hey, Alexis and Lee, Simon Iggy. How are you? I come for the Bible reading. Thank you, Janice. We're doing great, Lee. How about you? How is everybody? Big Al, good to see you. Thursdays are kind of a down day, right? Hey, Bella. Hey, Daniel. Everybody comes in late, they miss the psalm reading, but you can always go back and do the replay. So, anybody see the National Prayer Breakfast this morning? It was really nice. Hey, Tisa. Good morning, Daniel. Hello, Bella. Thank you. Your name implies that you're beautiful as well, and I'm sure you are inside and out. You have to get some coffee first. Oh, good. Washington has been a cesspool for decades. Yes, Mike, unfortunately it has. A horrible cesspool. Hopefully is getting a little bit better. Hey, Cully. But it's hard to say. You know, sometimes when you take one piece of the swamp out, it seems like another piece just comes and swallows it up. I was just watching the replay, halted to come and see you. So thank you, Lee. We're cleaning the swamp. Yep, we're trying, Alexis, that's for sure. We are really trying. I just don't know, how far we're going to get with it. What happened with the mood of President Trump this morning? What do you mean? Hey, Renee. Did you think he was down or something, Bella? I like the fact that little girl was there, Sophia. I thought that was really excellent that she, of all people, was brought to the prayer breakfast this morning after a nation prayed for her during her surgery. her brain surgery. I know it's exactly like cleaning the refrigerator. It is. Trump looked fine to me. I know he did to me too. I didn't see anything different. So I just woke up, Carmen said. Yeah, I didn't notice anything different about him. I thought he was fine. You know, I heard that now is 5 open investigations. There's so many investigations going on, Bella. Which ones, you know? We'll see where it all goes. You know, one thing I was looking at the other day, I was just thinking to myself, are you as ticked off as I am about the fact that your government, hey Jerry, basically lied to you? I mean, you know, for 8 years, how totally lied. And I know everybody knows that and knows that you were and all that. But, you know, just to stop and take that in and to think about all the corruption that was going on and what people were doing. I just think it's just horrible when you sit and really think about it, how much that we were just used as pawns, basically. Hey, Gail. Robin said, I'm always ticked off at the lies. I know. Hey, Max, good morning. Disappointing for sure. Yeah, it makes me angry, Lee. I mean, really, really does. And we didn't count to them, Jerry said. And to see Holder yesterday and people saying, oh, you know, the mainstream media, are you going to run for president in 2020? And him, you know, kind of like, well, we'll see. I mean, these people are so corrupt, and all they want to do is get back in and get into control. It's hard to trust people, Mike said. Yep. Good morning, Mrs. Vaughn. Good morning once again, Miss Knowles. Good to see you. It just, I don't know. The more that I see these people come out in public, the arrogance, the acting like they did nothing wrong. Yeah, we are disposable deplorables. That's for sure, Jerry. Hey, Sandra. History supports the wickedness of people in government. Exactly, Alexis. You know, and it's something that, you know, for the longest time, I haven't trusted my government. I don't 100% trust my government. I never have. But, I mean, to see the amount of corruption that has gone through the Obama administration, stuff that people may never on this earth at least have to repay for what they've done, but will be judged later for sure anyway. It just, I don't know, it makes me mad. Nothing will happen to them and they know it. That's what makes them so bold, Robin said. Yeah, sometimes I feel like that way too, Robin, because I think that we're going to uncover all this stuff and that nothing seems to be taking place. One thing that I was looking for other research and I found this, and this really made me even worse mad. Hey, Spencer, remember Planned Parenthood? And the young man, David, who went and did that undercover operation with Planned Parenthood, and they were talking about baby parts and how horrible it was. It refreshed my memory that it was Fusion GPS that Planned Parenthood hired to go after that guy from the Center for Medical Progress. Okay, Barbara. Hey, Trump can MAGA, Bush Sr., Clinton, Bush Jr., and Obama and Hillary, no difference. There's no difference. No difference whatsoever. But Planned Parenthood hired Fusion GPS to discredit the pro-life activists and the whole undercover operation. And even Fusion GPS found no video editing or anything like that. Yeah, I know, Alexis. We didn't really think about it then, because of the fact that, thank you, Simon. We didn't think about it then because we didn't know that much about Fusion GPS. Hey, Beck. But now we know. Good morning, Georgia. Now we know who those people are. And so if Planned Parenthood hired Fusion GPS, did they go to, I don't know, Hillary and say, who should we hire if we want to discredit somebody? Oh, you'll want Fusion GPS for that. Not saying that they did, but you know, I'm just saying all of these people are connected. Good morning, Melissa. Everyone share and retweet Red Pill the Nation. I know, Trump can. They can lie to us and it is all okay, Spencer said. When are we going to demand the laws need to mitigate the government lying? I know. God sees it all, Robin said, for sure. I just, you know, to have them, to know that Fusion GPS was involved in that, to know who Planned Parenthood was, I read something that in California they kept a baby's heartbeat alive so they could harvest the parts. I don't know if that's true. That's what I read. And that was just recent. Track the money, power, and corruption. So they're all connected. They're all in bed together. They're all doing things together. Hey, Jules, they all know one another. And it's just disgusting. The more I hear about it, the worse it is. Hey, Danielle. And I mean, again, I think that's probably too what gets me so upset. You go and you read how thick the corruption is, how these people are so in bed with each other. Yeah. Ugh. Oh, Big Boy's clapping for Trump. Thanks, Big Boy. Thanks for coming in and saying positive things about President Trump. We'll make sure everybody knows it's you, Big Boy. So I just, I don't know, that has me a little down. And some days I get down because I read that and I just think, my God, it's so thick to know what all is going on. Again, we do know that God is in control. We shouldn't worry about it. We just keep doing what we're supposed to do. But sometimes. I read that too. Aborted babies kept alive for organs. Also, China pills made within 90% human material. That's disgusting. 99% of human material. Yeah, and that keeping the baby alive was supposedly in California when that happened, keeping the heartbeat going. I mean, how can you say, that isn't murder? I don't know. I can't wrap my head around it. You have a heartbeat, you have a life. You're keeping it alive so you can harvest organs from the baby, and you're going to tell me that it's not murder. So thick, that's why we must be patient while they sort out the case and charges against these people. Pills made from babies' cells, Beck said. Disgusting. Did you hear Nigel call out Parliament members for accepting Soros money? Good for him. I truly have to avoid much of the news. I don't want my soul to be filled with all of this, Robin said. I know. I mean, this is so much why we need to every day cleanse our souls, and spending time with God and reading in the Bible, because this stuff is so dark, so evil. Hey, Jackie. Hey, Clayton. Good morning. Harold, how are you? And that's why we need to pray for the president. We need to pray for the United States. We need to pray for each other. Good morning, Pat. How are you? Hey, Melanie. Understand that the mindset is the same as the SS officers. Ugh. I just can't imagine this Cecile Richardson. I can't imagine her going before God one day. I'm assuming she'll be there. And having God say to her, what did you do? What are you proud of? What are you the most happy that you did? Hey, Marlene, hope you're feeling better. And for her to say, well, I killed babies. I waited for their heartbeat, so we could harvest them. That type of thing. I mean, God, how do you face God and say something like that? Hey, Monique. Good, Marlene. I'm glad you're feeling better. So I don't know. Enough about Planned Parenthood, but I just, thinking about her and thinking about, 7 million babies on her watch. 7 million babies died because this woman was the head of an organization who not only was just the head of the organization, but went out and spoke about how wonderful it is, kept it going, marketed, what they do, on and on and on. She's responsible for that. Big Boy is clapping. 22. Big Boy 22 Love is clapping. He loves President Trump, so everybody remember that and just make sure that everybody knows that. If the fetus can be harvested for body parts, clearly a being, they just proved our point. I know, Rhonda. I know. It's disgusting, and she will pay for it one day, Robin said. Just absolutely slaughtering children. I have a story. My mom had a choice to have me aborted because she was very sick, but she refused. Wow. Pat, unbelievable. Big Boy, stay in and listen. It will do you well. Big Boy loves President Trump, and so we welcome Big Boy. I know, Pat. I mean, that's amazing. And can you imagine just not having you here and all the accomplishments that you've made, all the people that you have prayed for, all the great things that you have done? Yes, God can forgive even her, Marlene, if she repents and asks for forgiveness. Now they have a man to take her place. Oh, wow. Jules, I don't know. I don't even know what to say about any of that. I just, ugh. Them's just voted down the bill banning abortion after 20 weeks. I have 9 children of my own and are doing great things. I'm advocating for life. Great, Bella. Told you you were beautiful inside and out. God has a special place for baby killers. Ugh. Ugh. Cecile promotes abortions but kept her own daughter hypocrite as usual. Yeah, I know. Well, and look at Hillary. That's right. Sincere repentance would be great. I'm sure God worked through her for your mom. Absolutely, Pat. And I've heard countless stories of people saying that they were told by their doctors to abort their babies for one reason or another, and because of some type of defect or whatever, and the children turned out just fine. And wasn't one of the, gosh, was it Billy Graham's in his family? I can't remember who that was. But Gerber is standing up for life with their 2018 spokesbaby. We need to stop this genocide from our nation. I know. Again, I don't know how God can sit there and be patient with us. I really don't know. I mean, really, I just don't. James Robison? Danielle says James Robison. Sometimes people go so far that God doesn't ever let them see the truth and they will perish. Could be Robin, absolutely. Yeah, and again, you have to repent in order to be forgiven. If you don't think you did anything wrong, there's no repentance. That's what happened to my older sister. They told her the baby will have Down syndrome, and he didn't. Oh, wow. Unbelievable. Yes, the baby is a Downs baby, Barbara said. It's a good thing I'm not God. I'd smite them all. I know, Marlene. I just don't know. Because we are here, praying is why. You know, I don't know about you, but like, I know all of us, because we're all human and we're all imperfect. We all sin every day. And our sin, this is maybe just my thoughts and you have a different one. Our sins have contributed to why the world is the way it is. I'm not saying we caused it, but I'm saying each one of us, our sins are a part of why this world is so corrupt. And I really feel that's why every day we should repent of our sins and ask for forgiveness because of the fact we contribute. Well, we contribute. I'm not saying we caused it. Everybody has their own responsibility for their own actions. And I have responsibility for mine. 2 strong, beautiful 16-year-old birth mothers, my 2 beautiful adopted children. Very nice, Tom. Great. Wow. Hey, Lisa, good morning. All right, so enough about Planned Parenthood. We could fill a whole day with that. Roman said, yes, I agree. Do you think that President Trump should sit down with Mueller? No, Bella, I don't. I think that you need to have attorneys. You need to listen to your attorney's advice. Hello, Lisa Maria. To their advice on that, and I would only do that if I were subpoenaed and then under advice of my attorney. I don't care if you're innocent, guilty, or whatever. You don't go any place and sit down with somebody like Robert Mueller, or like look at the FBI. Look what happened to Flynn, because he just had a little sit down with them that, oh, well, this isn't going anywhere. Believe me, they're looking for every single thing that they can use against you. It's really hard to fathom what goes through the mind of a person who performs thousands of abortions. I know one nurse who left Planned Parenthood after years and years of feeling remorse and regret. Well, at least she left, or he, whoever it was, Monique. I'm grateful for that. But yeah, no, don't sit down with Mueller. Don't sit down with the FBI. Don't sit down with anybody. And maybe that's something where President Trump knows he's going to do what his attorneys tell him anyway. Anyways, he will be subpoenaed and have to go in front of the grand jury. He may or may not have to, Bella. They want to trip him up with an interview. Tim Tebow's mom, doctor said he was a tumor. Wow. Amazing. Tim Tebow does some pretty amazing stuff. He really does. I don't know if you followed him. He was recently on like an episode of Fixer Upper, and his organization had this house built for these two, or I don't know, fixer uppered, fixed up for these two little boys who were wheelchair bound. And you can just tell from, you know, watching him, his heart. I mean, he really has a great heart. And I hope he finds, someday, I keep thinking about this, I hope he finds the right woman. You're in love with Tim Tebow, Melissa said. Well, he needs the right godly woman that his equal, and I hope he finds that. Yep, he's a Christian man, an awesome guy. Absolutely. Tim Tebow not allowed to kneel for God, but BLM okay to kneel on our flag and police and military. I know, it's ridiculous. Yep, it's ridiculous, Trump, but... Yep, Julia says she's still available. Well, there you go. If you're the right person, Julia, I know the two of you will connect someday. I would not do it without a half dozen good attorneys and a subpoena, Spencer said. My niece is perfect for him. Well, girl, for good, I think you're going to have to somehow, make that arrangement happen, or at least try, and then God will do the rest. Yes, Chip and Joanna and Waco. Yes, Wayne. Yep. Let me give you a little bit of news that's going on in Israel, because you're not going to hear it on the mainstream media because they don't care to tell you. The other day, Israel Air Force attacked, well, I'm not available, but I can still. Oh, gosh. Melissa. Israel Air Force attacked Syrian Research Center near Damascus. It's a military complex that includes schools, war reserve units, training areas for special forces, and a communication center by a Syrian Korea company. Now that's odd, right? Syria Korean company. Get that. And that's, I'm sure, not South Korea. Also houses tech school that belongs to the Syrian Agency for Scientific Research for Chemical and Biological Weapons. So, that's what's going on in the Middle East that you're not hearing anything about. It was a she, and she said she had held tears back every time and sobbed after going home. Glad she got out. Monique, I am absolutely glad. I heard the USA attacking Syria again today. Special mission. Could possibly be. I don't know. Various news agencies having been reporting some big arrests in China today. Did anyone else hear that? Nope. Who was arresting the person in China? And what for? I didn't hear any of that this morning. What was it, Jerry? Maybe Jerry can tell us what it is. No details. Yeah, things like that with no details, it's like, I don't know whether to believe it or not. It's like I'll wait and see what happens with that. Nothing heard this in, yeah. Maybe we'll find out tomorrow. Oh, it was a Q thing. Again, I know everybody in here, or most people in here, or some people in here watch Q. I don't put 100% stock in Q, so I wait to hear things. I don't like conspiracy stuff. I like factual stuff. So, yeah. Okay, so President Trump appointed Alveda King for a special commission to serve on the Frederick Douglass Bicentennial Commission. Yeah, I don't... When people tell me they get it from their intel person, Jerry, I don't follow that either. I'm sorry. I just don't. If it comes out in the news or I hear it from several sources, maybe I'll believe it. But I see too many people saying, my intel source. Everybody's got an intel source. I have an intel source. So, Robert Porter is saying that those photos of him that allegedly where he beat his wife in Italy or whatever, he's saying it's all a lie. But he's resigning because I guess he just feels it's the best thing to do. Accordingly, it wasn't President Trump who asked him to step down. He felt he should resign. Who knows where the truth lies there. But he's going to stay on for a while. And, yep. And smooth transition. My third grade teacher was my intel source. Yeah, a lot of times if you listen to intel sources, they'll tell you stuff that's so generalized that, yeah, it's something about that is going to happen. I can say, you know what? Something really amazing is going to happen and you need to watch. Guess what? Something really amazing is going to happen and you're going to see what it is. And then I can go back and say, woo, my intel source, see, I told you I was right. Yeah. Hey, Linda, good to see you. I'm not saying they're 100% wrong or 100% right. I'm just saying I don't rely on that information. And when somebody tells me their intel source tells them that, I know that intel sources were telling us about, all these people were going to be arrested, the Podestas, this, that, and the other. None of that's happened. So, Only Q I know is from Star Trek The Next Generation. That's right, Rick. About the same. We need out of Syria and Afghanistan. There's nothing there vital to our interests. There's nothing in Iraq either. However, we owe the nearly 5,000 troops who perished there something, Spencer said. I think it's good, though, keeping people engaged. Well, you can keep people engaged, but you need to tell them facts and the truth. And, try, if you have an opinion, your opinion's fine. Everybody can say, this is my opinion, or, you know that it's a person's opinion. But when you want people to rely on things, I just don't like that. My own personal thing, I just don't like it. I like to corroborate. If somebody says my intel source, blah, 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 I like to corroborate that. And research yourself. That's right, Pat. There were some things the other day where people were saying, well, my intel source said this. I found out the same information before that intel source said it, just researching on my own. And a lot of it was on Trey Gowdy. I mean, if you go back and you research and you find out what they say, when they said it, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, they can't give you all the facts in ongoing cases. Yeah, you won't know until it's over. I know, Jerry. That's the way it always is. I get mine from you, Susan. Well, Lee, I do as much as I can on the research. But again, I'm going to get things wrong. But I'm not going to say to you, oh, well, my sources say. I've had things that sources have told me that I have chosen not to tell you because I don't know if it's factual or not. And I don't know whether to believe it. And if I do tell you, then I'm going to tell you, someone told me this. I don't know if it's true. Take it for what it is. That's what I want to say to people. So if I had an intel source feeding me things, which, like I said, I have information right now that I've been told by an intel source, and I've had a conversation at 3 o'clock in the morning with these people, that I know information that I choose not to tell you because I don't know if it's true or not, and I don't know what I think about it, and I don't want to spread stuff like that if it's garbage. Thank you, Lee. I try to be, but not every day. But people need to say, if it's your intel source, whatever you want to say, look, I don't know if you should rely on this or not. But when you hear it from somebody, my intel source, immediately people are driven to rely on it because it's somebody they think that is, an intel source that they can rely on. I remember a long time ago, I was told by another Periscope pundit that Sessions was going to step down or actually be removed because that's what Trump's attorney wanted. Did that happen? Nope. There you go. All right. So, recently a North Carolina man claimed to be an Army general headed into a classified briefing, and he flew a helicopter to the headquarters of a major tech company, Statistical Analysis Systems. At that point, that's when the police were called, and he was arrested because he wasn't really a general, and he's being indicted by a grand jury. What would make him do that? Who this man is? Why he would try something like that? I don't know. Yeah, it was a guy in North Carolina. He claimed to be an Army general. And he flew a helicopter into a meeting, went into this actual company, Statistical Analysis Systems. And I know. So, was he crazy? I don't know. I don't know, Danielle. Robin said you're doing the things the right way. Thank you, Robin. Good morning, Dawn. Carmen came back. Yeah, I don't know what that man's problem was. I have no idea. Intel source equals I'm about to lie to you, Spencer said. Oh, God. Not a problem, Carmen. That's funny, Spencer. If you did not hear it from the horse's mouth, it may be hearsay. That's true, Barbara. Wow, what a crazy guy. I know, Lee. I mean, why would you do that? He had bad intel. There you go, Lisa. Well, he won't be doing that much anymore. Oh, my God. Okay, so here's some crazy information. Probably not worth your time, but I'll tell you anyway. It looks as though Richard Pryor's wife is going to be coming out with a book. And Quincy Jones lately has been saying some things in regards to having dated Ivanka Trump and some other things. It sounds like Quincy's a little I don't know, eccentric. He may have dated Ivanka. I have no idea. And if he did, I don't understand the point of it. But anyway, Quincy Jones said that Richard Pryor, does anybody remember Richard Pryor, the comedian? He set himself on fire, I guess, when he was high on cocaine or something like that, or he was freebasing and set himself on fire, supposedly. Burned himself over more than half of his body. Anyway, Quincy Jones claimed that he slept with Marlon Brando, and the widow of Richard Pryor says that's absolutely true. So somebody was saying that Marlon Brando would sleep with anything. He was trying to bait President Trump, probably Lisa, get some more attention. I used to date Raquel Welch, Pat said, live from the Sunset Strip. I believe it. But, you know, I mean, I didn't even know what to say. And Richard Pryor's wife was saying that he was bisexual. So, hey, Jacqueline. Marlo slept with whom? Apparently everybody, Beck, including Richard Pryor. What difference does it make? I know. Richard Pryor and Gene Wilder, the best comedic duo since Abbott and Costello. Yeah, but I think from what they're saying, Marlon Brando slept with women, men, and anything he could get his hands on. That's what they were saying. Rumors about him before sleeping with John Travolta. Who knows? That's so wrong on Pryor. They are dead and can't defend themselves. That's true, Cully. Absolutely true. Interesting. Yes. I'm not even going to go there. Yesterday during Pelosi's 8-hour snooze fest, I don't know if anybody tuned in. I didn't. I didn't give her 1 second of my time. Yeah, Scientology Church would get on John for that. Yep, I guess they would, Jerry. Maybe they have. Who knows? Who knows if he did it or not. We're at the halfway point. If you don't mind retweeting and sharing, I would really appreciate it. Heads up, Fox is reporting Al-Qaeda is back and stronger than ever, but Al-Qaeda never died. ISIS and ISIL rebels branched off from Al-Qaeda in 2012 and formed their own groups. Is Pelosi still speaking on the House floor? No, Pelosi spoke for 8 hours and 7 minutes, which basically is probably the longest day that she's put in, I don't know, maybe 20 years. I guess they panned the cameras around to a woman that was sitting next to where she was standing. Hey, Robin. And her name was Doris Matsui. And they claim that she nodded off several times. So I'm not surprised. She worked 8 hours. That's a full day for her. I can't imagine her working 8 hours. And she did it 4-inch heels. Wow. You're kidding. So that she could look taller? Hey, Robert, good to see you. Can you blame her? Was she there, Linda said. Yeah, I mean, that could have been a hologram, of Pelosi. Maybe she wasn't really there. Again, that's probably what, that's the amount of time she should put in, but that she doesn't. They showed her shoes, Marlene said. What else were they going to do for 8 hours? Seriously, what else are you going to do? People do that every day around the country. I know, and then some. I'm seeing that Mitch McConnell teamed up with Chuck Schumer to add $400 billion to what we're trying to do to get funded. So that's not good. There goes Mitch again. I don't know what that $400 billion is for. I can't check on it right now. I don't know if it's towards DACA. I wouldn't think it was towards the wall, and I doubt very seriously it's for the veterans, but I don't know. I watched Nancy till I fell asleep, which took about 5 seconds, Monique said. Robin said I wouldn't be able to listen to her for 2 minutes. I didn't turn the channel. I didn't want to see her. Did I get live video of the Congress people playing Candy Crush as she spoke? I know. It's about dreamers and how wonderful they are taking scholarships and free education. Yeah. And again, the dreamers could care less about her. I listened a bit. Wow, you're brave, Barbara. Very brave. And I'm sorry that you had to listen to all of that. I didn't see Mary Ann this morning, but here's something for Mary Ann. There's a potential serial killer in Las Vegas, in a town that's just north of Las Vegas. She must have doubled up on her polygraph. Oh, there you are. Good, Marianne. Hey, Deborah, good morning. Let's see. It said that it's a small town north of Vegas. They didn't say the name of the town. This man killed 2 men, wounded 2 others, and 3 of the victims were homeless and killed by the same gun. So a potential serial killer in Las Vegas. Just what you need. Keep your doors closed. Your guns closer. That's all I can say. They're shooting homeless people. Ugh. I heard Pelosi fogged out trying to remember a Bible verse. They brought her a Bible. Wow. I guess it was already open for her to read out of it, so she probably wouldn't know where anything was. I don't know. Could not stand for real Americans, yet stood for lawbreakers. Of course. Yeah, you're a serial killer. Cereal. Yep. Yes, Beck. Oh, my God. But that's really horrible. I mean, Vegas doesn't need any more problems. But there's so much other stuff going on there. This person's probably just, having at it. George W. Bush. You remember him. Pretty clear evidence, he says, that Russia meddled with the election. And we have Steve Wynn, too. Yeah, Steve Wynn resigned. Americans are dreamers, too, Carmen said. We sure are. Robin said, talking about Nancy gave me a nosebleed. Seriously. It's the evil, Robin. Robin, I hope your dog is okay. I know you were going to take her to the vet yesterday. George W. Bush, pretty clear evidence that Russia meddled with the 2016 election. Not sure if they affected the outcome, though, he said. And he said he called Putin zero-sum. And said he has a chip on his shoulder. Says that's why, because of the demise of the Soviet Union, and he's trying to get that back. Robin, everybody wants to know how your dog is doing. So George W. Bush, whose father is a member of the Trilateral Group, comes out on behalf of his father, I guess, and starts talking down about Russia. So we can continue the Russia saga of the Russia farce. It's never ending. Never ending. Robin said her dog is drugged up but doing well. What was wrong with your dog, Robin? Here's something that I know, and that strangeness that's happening. You're not going to believe. There's a man on the Alaska Airlines, took off his clothes, locked himself in the bathroom, and they had to turn the plane around, and police got him off out of the bathroom. He's darn right they're meddled in the election, all in Hillary's favor, and we've got all the proof, Monique said. FBI informant says Russia wired money to the U.S. in hopes of influencing Hillary and the Obama administration in regards to Uranium-1. Where was he when Obama was president? Nowhere to be found. Yep. Maybe he had to poo. With his clothes off? Come on, Beck. They said that Douglas Campbell told Congress Russia nuclear officials told him that Moscow hired American lobbying firm APCO worldwide, in hopes of influencing Hillary to reset the U.S.-Russia relations while supporting Bill's charity efforts. Now, his charity efforts at the time, I think that was the Bill Clinton Charity Foundation, which became, Hillary Clinton's, the Clinton's Foundation. Because it was in Bill's name to begin with, and then it just became the Clinton Foundation. There was agreement to pay, supposedly, 4 payments of $750,000 over 12 months. And that was to ensure that Obama made favorable decisions in Uranium-1 and the U.S.-Russia relations. So, I know more junk info about Hollywood than anyone should know. Okay, Carmen. There was a tweet from WikiLeaks yesterday saying Michael Isakoff, who's the chief investigative correspondent at Yahoo News, he's saying that Michael Isakoff, whose Yahoo News article based on the Steele dossier was used to obtain the FISA interception warrant against the Trump campaign and Carter Page, was secretly working with the DNC and the Ukrainians. Nobody seems to care. I hope the lavatory locker person was thin. There is no room in there. was almost stuck in there when I flew to D.C. in December. Oh my gosh, Rick. He was going to join Miles High Club by himself, Don said. This is about the dog. She had severe allergic reaction to something. Checked for her blockage. She was fine. She does have allergies and a little asthma. They think she ate something bad, but it is passing, and they took an x-ray, and she's going to be okay, which is great. Why do they turn around every time? No sky caps? Well, I guess because other people would need to go to the bathroom during the flight. And so if you can't get the guy out of the bathroom, what's everybody else going to do? So I guess it was closer to go back than it was to go forward. I don't know. Peter Strzok's email in May 19, 2017, text message said that he had appeared to express hesitation about joining Robert Mueller's Russian investigation team because he said he had a gut sense that there's no big there. I think we knew about that, but just wanted to bring that out again. Robin, everybody's saying God bless your little doggy, and hopefully recovers quickly. Monique said very glad to hear she's going to be okay, Robin. If you can't love yourself, who can you love? Ugh. Yeah, and talking about Nancy Pelosi, I didn't hear her, well, I didn't watch it, but I'm assuming she didn't talk about the military, she didn't talk about sex trafficking, she just talked, and she didn't talk about illegal immigrants who kill innocent Americans. My mom was in her 80s and did that in a Walmart bathroom. My brother had to go buy her clothes, Barbara said. Oh. Robin said, thanks, everyone. They are family. The dogs are family. Absolutely. Now, yesterday, a handful of illegal alien dreamers stood and protested outside the Missouri office of Senator Claire McCaskill, demanding that she take action to help get DACA passed. I think there was only like 6 people that showed up. Could be wrong. The group held signs that read, "Here to stay. Dreamers are Americans. No, you're not. Defend families. Defend DACA. United we dream. And Clean Dream Act now." About 6 people attended the rally to ask her to fight harder for them and to do it quickly. So, in other words, these people who have no say, no vote, are out there telling the senator, you'd better do what we're telling you to do because, you know, what? We're going to vote. We're going to make sure that you don't get reelected. We're Americans. No, you're not. And that's the problem, that you've been here, that you've stayed here so long that you really do think that you're Americans. And unfortunately, there are people ahead of you in line. And if you get DACA, then I guess you're going to... You may get your wish, but until then, you're not Americans. I'm afraid we're going to get stuck with DACA. I know, Pat. It's looking that way. You know, unfortunately, you know, and I hate to say this, but with President Trump coming out and mentioning every time about, well, I gave him a pathway to citizenship, even though there are some qualifications for that, you know, every time it stirs the people on DACA to feel that they're going to get something. Go get in line and feel some real due process. Dang these folks. Carmen said, good day. Saw the prayer breakfast. It was awesome. Your POTUS is growing in the Lord. So good. But our local media would talk about in our nightly news. Sad. No, they wouldn't talk about it yet. Nope. Just that they want you to know, to think everything bad about the president. Nothing good. When just the opposite is true. A new study from the Federation for American Immigration Reform, which is FAIR, published Monday, reveals that the United States has opened its door to over 3 million refugees since 1980 and 96,900 in 2016 alone. So almost 100,000 people in 2016. According to the study, over the past 5 years, the financial burden to U.S. taxpayers for refugees resettled into the country, yes, Peter, exactly, Trump 2020, is $8.8 billion, or an average of $1.8 billion per year. Let me say that again. According to the study, over the past 5 years, the financial burden to U.S. taxpayers for refugees resettled into the country is $8.8 billion with a B, or an average of $1.8 billion per year. That's Oh, huge. Build the wall. Yes. Never have I seen so much disrespect for the office of the POTUS greatest country in the world. I know, Pat. Never. Never seen that. The cost per refugee to American taxpayers, just under $79,600 every year in the first 5 years after a refugee is resettled in the United States. Peter, your name doesn't serve you well. So, in 2016, the State Department spent nearly $545 million to process and resettle refugees, including $140,389,177 on transportation alone. Why don't they apply for citizenship? I don't get it. I know, Sandra. Well, supposedly Kelly said some of them are lazy, don't get off their butts. I think a lot of people, they don't want to apply for citizenship because they go back to their country. They're still aligned with their country. Why do they get special treatment, Danielle said. Yep. My taxes and my Social Security, Deborah said. Yep. Said on Twitter how much I loved it and had ugly remarks immediately. What was that? For free stuff? Oh, okay. Of the $1.8 billion in resettlement costs, $867 billion was spent on welfare alone. $867 spent on welfare alone. In the first 5 years, approximately 54% of all refugees will hold jobs that pay less than $11 an hour. Wow, Barbara, that's amazing. Barbara mentioned the prayer breakfast online and got attacked, of course, right away. Well, that's, you know what, Barbara? That's just Satan, That's just the evil coming out. You say something good, say something about prayer, say something about God, you're going to get attacked. It means you're doing something right. No free stuff, they will leave real quick. Well, if they're not employed, they would leave really quickly. But, we keep allowing them to get employed. It is very low estimate. The cost of housing the illegals in our federal prisons is far higher than that alone. Yeah, that's true, Spencer. They left that out, I think. $71 million will be spent to educate refugees and asylum seekers, a majority of which will be paid by the state and local governments. Over 5 years, an estimated 15.7% of all refugees will need housing assistance, which is roughly $7,600 per household in 2014 dollars. Unbelievable. That's a lot of money that we're spending. And we're, in California, we're spending even more than that because we're paying more than that. Indiana and Kentucky now making welfare go to work, which is good, Marlene. We need to stop that. Well, Danielle, I mean, yes, years and years and years ago, but I don't know how it doesn't seem that people have the will to stop it because, again, Democrats want votes. And you want people to be dependent upon the government if you're a Democrat and elitist, globalist. And so you encourage people to get welfare and be dependent upon the government. Yet people wonder why we want them legal. I know. New York State does work fair. What is that, Beck? Like you have to work in order to get some assistance or... Also, the CARE, the Council on American Islamic Relations, you work for welfare. Oh, good. They are in Maryland now, so they're saying hi to everybody in Maryland, and Maryland is just welcoming them in. They're there, and they hope to do great work for people in Maryland. That's CARE. Here's the thing that, Beck, what I'm thinking... Why can't people work that are able to? I have seen in our grocery stores, for example, kids that are, let's say, high school age, that have Down syndrome or something like that. They're out working. They have a little, like a team member next to them, and they bag groceries. And they come to work, and they're able to work and do what they can. So I don't understand why the people on welfare who are able to work, why they're not made to go out and do the same thing. Yep, your Downs niece works, Marlene said. Plus he kept saying these children. Yeah, right. Well, to her, everybody probably is a child, Barbara, even those that are like 50 years old. Yes, Kentucky is making it harder for people to get welfare. I'm glad, Robin said. They do that here at Publix. Yeah, I mean, what is wrong with that? And they do a great job. And like I said, they have somebody standing there working with them, like not working with them, but helping them if they need help. You can do that with a welfare recipient. You've got somebody who is like mentally challenged, and they're there doing that. And there are some people who are physically challenged, and they're still working there. And so why can't welfare recipients? We are fighting down to here in Florida. I missed it. Yep, they should look hungry with these food stamp card buying junk food. Yep, my son volunteers. He doesn't get welfare. He's autistic. Supervising, able-bodied should work. Absolutely. I mean, you can. There's something that you can do. There are a lot of people who, start businesses on their own, entrepreneurs, and they have a lot of people who come in who have disabilities, and they sit there and they work. I was working at 13 for my own paycheck, even though my family was well off, wanted my own money, Carmen said. They should have to work, Deborah said. Makes you feel good to work, Carmen said. Yep. When are you going to get, I don't know who Bennett is, pride in a paycheck? Yep. But see, the government, again, doesn't want you to know about that. They want you to feel that you need them. And remember Nancy a long time ago with Obamacare? This was like at the very beginning, and she was saying, this will give you time to go out and do art and do those things that you love. Sandra says exactly, they should have to work. And so, the government wants you to sit home and do nothing while everybody else is working that isn't on welfare and is paying for everybody else's stuff. Like in California, we're paying for illegal immigrants to be able to use the hospital, the emergency room, as though it's just the doctor's office. And other things. I mean, that's just tip of the iceberg. Or they could pick up trash or clean parks to get a check. You used to have to show you were looking. Barbara, the thing of it is, I would kill somebody if I didn't work, Beck said. Well, let's keep you employed then, Beck. The veterans, the homeless veterans, VOP, the homeless veterans come in there. A lot of them are on, addicted to alcohol, drugs. All they have problems. They have physical disabilities, mental disabilities, and everything else. The first thing that they usually do, and especially like when they set up a new camp, they have the homeless veterans go out and clean up the trash and make it look good for the neighborhood. They want the neighborhood to appreciate them being there and want them to be there rather than try to get them removed from the neighborhood. So they go in and they clean up the whole area. And, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with the veterans doing that. And those that can, whoever said that, Barbara did, about picking up trash, most people can pick up trash. But the problem is we somehow see that as some demeaning type job that we wouldn't have somebody do. Excuse me. I remember some of the schools that I worked in, if the kids got in trouble, they would make them go around the school and pick up trash as a punishment. And some of the schools didn't want that to happen, so they wouldn't allow that type of consequence to happen. Why not? Hey, Jules. And again, we get to this idea these days somehow that there are some people who are less than and some people who are better than. And if you look at people for who people are and know that you're equal with them, then you shouldn't have a problem going out and picking up trash. I don't care who you are. I would like to see the CEOs of companies someday going around their parking lot and picking up trash. You think that would motivate people that work for you? I certainly think it would. It'd certainly motivate me seeing my boss out there picking up trash. So again, people can stop looking down their noses at people. And maybe that may be the first thing they need to do. So, all right. Anything else you guys want to talk about? We have a few minutes left. Anything in high school? I picked up a lot of trash. Wayne said, "You were in trouble a lot, Wayne." My dad made my son dig ditches all one summer. Good, Barbara. They need to take the time to see that motivate a child to get them to learn. Yeah. A lot of kids would love to go out and dig ditches and pick up trash and do things like that. I mean, I know this is kind of different to do, but I think people don't necessarily learn the same way or like to do the same things the same way. When I was at one of the schools, when I would see clients, I would see the kids during the day at school. I would take them out of class and have a session with them. I would take them out. I'd ask them first. They would know, where they were going and all that. I would take them out to the track, and we would walk around the track while we were having a session. They absolutely loved that. It was better than sitting in a room just talking. We could get out there. We could, be in the air, move around. Everybody knew they were seeing me anyway. It was no secret. Everybody in the whole school knows what you're doing anyway. So they had no problems with people knowing that they were with a psychotherapist. And it was great. The kids really loved it, and they were really more receptive, more open, and everything else. So you can't treat every kid the same. Idaho is on the verge of becoming the 13th state to apply for a convention of states for the purpose of proposing amendments. Rick, they've been talking about this convention of states way too long. I know one of the founders of the convention of states, Mark Meckler. I went to law school with him, and we've been talking about this now for like 2 years. We need to do something or just forget about it. Hey, Marie. William Campbell, FBI whistleblower, testified 2 hours yesterday. Moscow money paid to Clinton. Yeah, well, it wasn't. It was, I believe it was Doug Campbell. I was talking about that a little while ago. It was in the Washington Examiner. Yeah, and remember that one guy, I think his name was Josh Campbell, who said, I'm going to step down from the FBI because it's just been too hard now to be in the FBI because of what the president had done, essentially. It's hurt our jobs. And now he ends up with a position on CNN. So, former FBI agent Josh Campbell publicly claimed he was leaving the Bureau because of relentless attacks on it, but he already had a cushy job waiting for him at CNN. So here's this guy who probably knows all about, the Russia stuff. He's going to go to CNN, feed them more information, information that they shouldn't have, which I'm sure is classified, and he won't come right out and tell them that, but he'll hint around or, let's go look at this and that. That's what he's going to do. And so once again, the FBI lied when he sat there and said, I got to leave because, relentless attacks and blah, 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 when he already had a job at CNN. Come on. And if Soros and Hillary are against it, then it must be something to support. Well, there have been a lot of opposition to it. In fact, George Soros has aligned 230. Yeah, Rick, we need to do something. We need to get it done, not talk about it. What's wrong? Russia. I know. Yep, Jerry, that's what we said. 4 payments of $750. Yep. And supporting the Clinton charities, Bill's charities. Assistant to Comey. It's so ridiculous. Again, these people just continually lie. And I think Gowdy said, we're not going to have another special counsel. You don't see it happening. We've been calling for a second counsel, special counsel for how long? How long? And we have absolutely nothing. We need to step this up. Years are going, we're into the second year, already of President Trump. Basically, and we haven't done anything. We haven't arrested anybody. We haven't prosecuted anybody. We haven't called a grand jury. Nothing. Clean out the FBI and CIA, Deborah said. Yeah, no kidding. Al Capone tax evasion, Clinton's RICO. The more you can fabricate the truth, the more they will pay you. It seems that way, Chicago Pops. Can you imagine? That CNN probably contacted him and said, we'd love for you to work for us. Why don't you come on over? Talk about Trump facing an uphill battle. I know. Now we got this FBI guy who goes over and publicly works for CNN. They were probably working behind the scenes before. They're all in there together. Whether we can prove all the connections is one thing. I hope Sessions is waiting for the IG report. I hope so, Julia, but swamp is deep and wide. Good things come to those who wait. That's true, Beck. What is it they say about the wheels of justice? I know, Tom. grinding a little bit too slowly, I tell you. Robin says, I want to see some orange jumpsuits on these people and bars in front of them. I know. The American public really deserve to see justice. You know, we can uncover it, but it's what are we going to do with what's uncovered? Have a great day. All right, Lee. Have a great day. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for your support. Thanks for retweeting. When did the truth stop being important? Yeah. I don't know, Carmen. When money took over the souls of those in Congress and the FBI, Hollywood, you know, things like that. When people sold their soul, that's when it became unimportant. That's why my show on Spreaker is called Stand for Truth Radio. So I want to, you know, be safe, everyone. All right, you guys. Thank you. Pat says, Susan, you're the best. Thank you so much. All right, you guys. Thanks for coming in. God bless you. Take care. Please retweet this. Another great scope. Thank you, Chicago Pops. Everybody, have a great day. Thanks for retweeting. All right, everybody on YouTube, thanks so much. God bless you. We'll see you again soon.